Hey, there he is again. The guy from Osterholz-Scharmbeck, right? Hey, I'm not supposed to talk too much. So I'll just do this, how should I put it, in a local style. I can't really chat in dialect, but since I've grown up here, I can mimic the accent a bit. So, Gamo Replay 2021 IGT 10. What a long name. So, Gamo is clear. Gamo is the manufacturer. Replay is a nice name. 10 refers to the size of the ammunition drums, and IGT, that is inert gas technology. As far as I know, inert is any gas that does not react readily with others. Chemistry isn't my strong suit, but here it likely means nitrogen. Gas and technology are distinct. In the car industry, everyone knows it, but no one wants the same name. Essentially, it means there's no spring, just a gas piston. It's like in the car industry, everyone knows what it means, but no one wants to have the same name as the others. Basically, that just means there's no spring in there, but rather a gas piston, like the one that usually keeps your trunk door open. This is nothing else. The only advantage of these springs is that they supposedly last forever, and that you can leave them taut in the corner, which is of course unlikely to happen here in Germany, in case a rabbit happens to hop across the path in front of your house. You can grab the rifle right away and take a shot, send it back to its maker, without the piston getting damaged from sitting around for too long. Yeah, that's just how it is. I'll start again by telling you about this nice air rifle, which isn't exactly small. That's quite a hefty piece, not exactly light. And so we have all of that here. It's all written on the front. We have a serial number. That's a kilometer long. Well, it's not that long. Caliber 4.5, a Diabolo symbol, and Gamo is written on there just to be safe. Beware of remaining pellet into the breech. That is wrong. In the breech. Into means to put something in. Beware of remaining pellet in the breech is what's meant. Beware of remaining pellet into the breech means you're warned not to put the leftover pellet into the barrel. 2021? That would be a Freudian slip. I would say, whatever, we're having a good laugh about it. Someone messed it up. So then the Gamo logo with Gamo Replay 10 IGT is tiny in front of the R. I found an original. I dug out a magnifying glass. Is that an F sign? I thought, oh God, there's no F sign on it. But it's an F sign. What's really small? Back there? I haven't seen that yet. What is that actually? I suspect another 1,000 just to be sure. But I'll check again. It's not that big either. My poor old eyes can't hear as well as they used to. Yeah, that's another Gamo logo. Someone thought, hey, we still have some space, we need to fill it somehow. Then we have the patent number US so and so many. This does not refer to the gun in any way. That only refers to this scope rail riser. Because with that big bump right in front, someone clever probably thought it could get in the way of aiming. And that's why there's a scope rail riser included as standard, on which a Gamo sight for a 4R32 scope has also been mounted as standard. I've checked 4 or 5 prices now, all between 250 and 290, and the scope was always included. Yeah, probably because there's no sight on it, no notch, no rear sight, where you could also fit a notch, because you can just quickly look. That works too. I find the height of this scope rail riser very comfortable. Maybe I should get myself a bunch of scope rail risers. I honestly find it very comfortable when it's a bit higher. Well, I do have somewhat chubby cheeks. Well, okay. There's probably something on the other side too. Remove. No, beware of pallets going into the breech. Yes. Patent made in Spain. Not made in China, no, made in Spain. That's one of the things I like about Gamo. So, let's take a look at stock first. Yeah, massive plastic. So visible, casting marks. But as far as I can see, yes, there are clearly visible casting edges, but not in any way sharp-edged. Well, I definitely didn't get the impression while shooting that I could hurt myself on anything. Yeah, you can really tell that this thing makes a constant noise, and it's pretty big overall. Yeah. There are inserts in the front. They feel like roofing felt. So very nice, very nicely textured. I think that's good. We have inserts here as well. We have, a butt pad. I like that now creates cheek. I don't want to call it that now. Oh, it's just a typical thing that both the right and the left do equally. And at the back, we have a non-slip rubber butt pad. It's cut straight, so you can add inserts at the back if needed. Speaking of inserts, this piece is advertised with adjustable recoil dampers. That's what they mean by adjustable recoil dampers. You can take out the rubber plugs, and then the recoil will be much softer. Yeah, I think I'll just refrain from commenting on that further for safety's sake. Then let's take a look at the trigger unit. First of all, the trigger guard is also cast. Then we have a manual safety. Isn't that great? It's manually secured, and when you want to shoot, you realize, oh, there's something in the way that needs to be removed. Manually, so not having to click the safety off after every shot, bang, or something like that. What nonsense. Then we have a trigger here. I would say it's solid metal. I think it's aluminum. Anyway, no plastic. It won't be steel either. Yeah, then you see a big slot here. A big slot is always good. It's almost as good as individual holes. We have a set screw in the trigger blade, and behind that we have a Phillips screw. I can bring you closer to 2001. I think you can see it. So I suspect we are dealing with an adjustable trigger here. I'm not putting myself through that. I only tinker with the shotguns that I actually plan to keep. So adjustable. He's okay overall. He's not a disaster to me. Or anything. I've talked too much again. That's catastrophic. I have to play it at half speed, so that I don't constantly, that my tongue doesn't outrun my brain. Yeah, so anyway, I'm not really messing around with that much. I rarely do stuff like that. Oh, how cute. Here we have another Gamo from the pistol stock. Pistol stock, yeah, from the pistol grip. The butt pad from the pistol grip, the 2001. Power creates. Butt pads. I either go off the rails, or I escalate depending on the situation. I think we can just say that I'm done with the stock. Let's get to the rest of the whole story. The butt pad fits the stock. Somehow, right? Well, I would say it fits pretty well. My size. I really like the medical tube extension, I have to say. Speaking of 2001, I'm not looking around anymore to see if my other tubes can also get an extension like that. I would say the stock could be 2 cm longer for me. Yeah, come on, 2 cm, and that should be enough. That means you could easily sort things out with an insert. Yeah, normally we would move on to something like the sights now. I think we'll just skip that for now. We'll get to the magazine in a moment. That's why I'm holding the gun right in front of my face now. I know you're just a camera. I don't hold stuff like that under people's noses. And there you see rifles. The product description says there's a silencer included. You know what I think about silencers at 7.5 joules, but whatever. And I thought, that's probably just a muzzle brake. And then I shone a light inside, with safety glasses on and after making sure it's really unloaded. I really don't like looking from the front. Actually, there's still a section back here where you can clearly see that there are chambers, some kind of grips or something built in. So this thing actually has a small silencer. When it's normally unrestricted abroad, it has 24 joules. I just happened to read up on that because it was just there. So at 24 joules, it definitely makes a bit of a bang. The whole barrel is completely covered in plastic. I think it's excessive. Yeah, it's mainly the fluting here. Such flutings, those are the cutouts you usually find on real firearms to increase the surface area, so that when the barrel gets hot from firing, it cools down a bit faster. With an air rifle, it's a nice visual gimmick. Whoever has it has plastic up front. Everything plastic. Magazine. This is a magazine for 10 shots. On one side, it's clearly indicated how to insert the pellets from which side. And on the other side, it's not. On the sides you can see some numbers, and from the top there's a warning symbol. When the magazine is empty, or the current remaining count in the magazine when it's not completely empty. Right now there are only 2 because I only put 2 in. It's always about the magazine count for reloading. If you do a quick ratch, then there's only 1 left, because 1 is in the barrel. So if there's a 0 up here, it doesn't mean that the barrel is empty. That's why there's a proper warning here on the side. Up here is where the magazine things go in. What's in here? There are 2 pieces. There's a trigger button. So you stick them in here upside down. And when you're done, you press the button and pull them out upside down with both hands to stuff the next one in. So no, wait a minute, let's do it differently. And that means cocking. Can I do it without hitting it? Yes, that works. You can cock it. It makes a noise. It's sucking in a lot of air. Oh, there's a lot of grease on the bottom. That's good. So now it gets interesting. So far. The Hände 302 was the hardest air rifle I've ever had in my hands. This one will be easily topped by this one. I am relatively sure that the original spring is in here, the one for 24 joules. I definitely feel like I've just cocked it to 24 joules, and that the reduction is due to the smaller hole in the gas transfer port. Yeah, everything where air is pushed through is always called a gas transfer port, or just transfer port in these things. So they either went for the cheaper method, or some office said, no, changing the spring is too easy, so let's do it this way. Or they just couldn't find a suitable gas spring and decided to make the hole smaller. So either they decided to go for the cheaper method, or some office said, no, changing the springs is too easy, let's do it this way. Or they just couldn't find a suitable gas spring. Said, let's make the hole smaller. Well, that's just how it is. It's definitely very, very, very hard to cock. We don't have an automatic safety. So I'm going to try now, see if I can uncock it while it's unloaded. No, I can't. That means once I've cocked it, I have to shoot. Then I'll just do that. With this movement to close it. That works relatively well. It works. What works? Works relatively well. Because I've had shotguns before where you really have to put some effort into uncocking them. So, the magazine is in. Now I'm shooting again without needing an automatic safety. Aim sideways past the scope. The trigger pull is normal. Maybe 2 or 3 millimeters, I guess. Very, very light. Then it gets hard. Harder. 2001. Well, nothing came out, I would say. Now he says 1.5. That's interesting. Yeah, so I took a whole bunch of shots earlier, and that worked perfectly. Why not now? Aha, there it is, the pellet. And it just fell into my hand. At least it's damaged. Can I return it? Yes, it's most certainly, absolutely, definitely damaged. It got shaken up. Yeah, but where was that now? This here. So I have to put it in like this. I'm curious to see if this will all work now. Now it's also showing a warning alarm. The magazine is basically empty, but there could be one in there. Yeah, like this. And that. I said the trigger. As I said, it seems to be adjustable. It's best to always find a manual online. It will be written down exactly how much, how far, how high, how wide, and if so, why not? Why not? If I sell this thing for 2001 and ship the scope, separately for transport, so that both arrive somehow intact. I'm definitely selling it together with the scope, because the Gamo scope belongs on the Gamo rifle. That's how it should be. By the way, I saw clearly at 10 meters. So apparently this is a scope that either someone has already adjusted to 10 meters or it was set to 10 meters right from the factory. You rarely see that. So unlike the others, normally I always have to do it myself. That's why I also use my own scopes, which are generally adjustable at the front. What else do we have to say? Interestingly, this one is spring-loaded, because safety first. Probably to allow for some play. Maybe you can take it off and shoot the thing as a single shot. Honestly, I don't really know that. Everything here is very technical, made of paper, papyrus, set up at 10 meters while sitting with a numbered scope. You can't be satisfied with that. I've seen iron ball pistols that shoot better. Is it because of the wrong pellets? Is it the shooter's fault? Is it the scope? I don't know. The thing usually costs around 260 to 290 euros. I assume that the shotgun usually hits its target. Otherwise, their customers would have jumped in their faces a long time ago. I also don't have the energy to do a bunch of shooting series with different pellets right now. I usually just take the can that's open and... yeah, that looks like a scattergun at 10 meters. Okay, I'll just leave that hanging. The back is like this. I always focus on the back. The back is more important than the front because, in the end, it's not about hitting exactly in the middle. It's about everything being nice and tight together. The rest can be adjusted. That's it. 2 magazines come standard with this device. I don't really know. I got 2 magazines. I don't really know if 2 come standard with it. So, my little note. But I think I've already mentioned the crucial part. No, I got it for 168 euros plus shipping. And the new one cost 260. Yeah, I really wanted it because I haven't had anything like that before. It has a PTB approval since April 2019, so relatively new. The approval is new. I can't say how new the shotgun is. Maybe it's brand new. So often. You can't tell that anyone has ever done anything with it. It looks like it just came out of the box. I also say that because I want to sell it again someday. But there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing. Because the previous owner also shot very little with it. To be honest, that's the fate of many air rifles. They end up not being shot at all. Then we have this one here, the bulky device. And he's telling us something surprising now. Don't connect, just display. Few shots. 20 shots taken, 20 shots measured. Joules. 5.0. 41, 47, 44, 49. 50, 5047. 5.27, 48, 4949. 49, 49. 5.0, 5.0. Factor 7, 5.0. Factor 7, Factor 8, Factor 9, Factor 9, Factor 9, Factor 8. So I would say the average is about 4.8 full weight. Whoa, 4 point. Considering that this thing kicks like a donkey's mouth, I have to say, that's surprisingly little. That's what I meant earlier. The method of changing something using the smaller transfer port is imprecise. It's about hundredths of a millimeter. You're suddenly over it, suddenly under it, and at some point they say, come on, just do it to be on the safe side. And the German authorities won't moan. They're a bit weird. 5 joules are enough too? I have air rifles with 5 joules that shoot like the devil, so everything works. Fine. The thing with caulking, well, you have to caulk it for every shot. Here for 24 joules. That's definitely something for men, right? For example, here for the longsword, forked beard. Yeah, that's from the Vikings. I can't imagine that a young shooter or a delicate, nurturing girl, I mean a petite girl, would be able to cock this thing and still have fun with it. So this thing is definitely for real men. Yeah. I think you should know that before you get something like this. Later, it's like someone who, I don't know, has an Asian background and thinks they've ended up in a gym. So this is definitely a man's gun, in quotes. Yeah, we're already at the trigger, right? I wanted to test the trigger, but I need to have something in the barrel again, so I don't accidentally fire into the landscape here. We don't really like that. Not even with a gas spring. Yeah, just twist it a bit here with your fingers. I think I have 2 pellets in my hand. No, it's just one. Very nice. So, you might as well just get right into it. It's better for the important modifications here. The first 10 times it felt pretty easy to me. It's more like a lift. Not a drop like with the Manta, but a lift. Thank God there's no safety, or at least no automatic one. Then let's pull on some things here. So, I always try not to press down on it here, but just hold it so we don't have any resistance, friction resistance on the stock. Here with plastic on plastic, you probably notice it less, but well, so nothing's happening at all. Why isn't anything happening? Oh, we've had a little reset again. So the unit is kg and we have a log activated on very good. Okay. 200, 300, 450, 600, 700, 801, 2, 3, 4, 1.3. 1001, 2, 3, 4. Oh, facelift to some things. Again. So I didn't see the 1.4. So it's 1.3 something kilos. That's good. That speaks for the adjustable trigger. So, you know, that's on the side. Approximately 22 minutes. Well, okay, it has to be. How does the magazine work? I don't think I mentioned that with a single syllable. Snap, click, bang, snap, click, bang. So, reloading the pellet works all by itself. Unfortunately, you can't skip the cocking in between. So, 1,000. Yeah. Conclusion, that's difficult now. This is an exotic device, not exactly cheap. Of course it looks good because it has a decent case, silencer, adjustable, coil absorber. Yes, it's never clear. Muzzle brake. I can't really say how it shoots. At 24 joules. Something completely different happens there. Someone once said that barrels designed for high energy don't really handle the 7.5 joules very well. That could be, of course. Or you have to use a different pellet, lighter pellets, for example. Harder, softer. There are a whole lot of them. There are rifles that actually react strangely to different types. But that's just how it is. I can't really think of anything that makes sense right now. Everything I had to say, I've said. I don't really know myself that everything has actually been said. Most of the time, I still say a lot of nonsense about it. The recording is still running. It's nice when a thing records all the way to the end. Then I would say, let's do it this way. I'll keep drumming on it. And then I'll complain bitterly that I have to turn off the camera all by myself without any help. 1,000 every single time. Years and days. Yeah, and then I would say, I'm going to step back for now, calmly braid my beard, take a little nap, and I should eat something. Definitely need to eat. I'm falling off the wagon again. Yeah. Happy doing. All the best. Happy Easter. Merry Christmas. Nice delivery. God, I'm talking nonsense today. So that's it until next time. That would be completely wrong. 1,000.